Hey everyone, this is Jim and you're watching Talking Vintage. This is show number 29. Yes, I'm up close and personal with you today. Trying to get the light right and a whole bunch of other things. But yeah, so let's just get the show started. Quit talking here. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Talking Vintage and I'm Jim, your host. Brought to you by Decades Reclaimed, located at 502 West Brennan Road, Lakeland, Florida, 33813. All right, today is National, and that's the phone ringing. Today is National Book Lovers Day. It's also National Melon Day, so make sure you read a book and eat some melons today. Back in history, in 1936, Jesse Owens won his fourth gold medal. And born on this day was the star of Pitch Perfect, Anna Kendrick, if you guys know who she is. Okay, like I said last week, it's still hot. It's very hot. I want everybody to make sure you're being careful out there. If you're not in sunny Florida and you want some pure heat, just come down and see us. What's trending in the world of vintage? Let's talk about that. Here at Decades Reclaimed, there's no single item that's trending. Everything's trending. I mean, we have a wide variety of items that are selling right now. Normally during season, you could pick 2 or 3, maybe a half dozen items that are trending and are selling well. But during the summer months, we sell everything. Just everything sells during the summer months. So I can't really say there's one thing that's trending. What is trending, though, is selling things. People are coming to the shop almost on a daily basis wanting to sell things. Now, we talked a little bit about this last week, about selling things, but I'm just going to go over some things. If you have items you want to sell them, the best thing to do is go to family and friends first. They might have some sentimental value to the piece, or they want to help you out. So they're not that you're going to get top dollar there, but it's just the easiest way to do it. After that, if you want top cash, you're going to put it out on eBay or Mercari or someplace like that. But there's a lot of work involved in that. So remember, in order to get that cash, you're going to have to work for it. And then getting less, you could put it on like Facebook Marketplace, or you could sell it at a garage sale, but you're going to get less. Okay? Just remember that things that were high or had a great value years ago may not be the same right now. People, a good example would be probably China. China, dinner patterns and stuff like that years ago had great value to them. Now, not so much. Just remember that as you're going out there. Do a little research before you go out there and try to sell it. Okay, we are not going to do our vendor corner today because we have some questions that we need to answer, and some of those pertain to vending or to selling at a store like Decades Reclaimed Vintage Depot. And by the way, if you want to know more about Decades Reclaimed Vintage Depot, check them out on the web at decadesreclaimed.com or on Facebook. Facebook is probably the number one place to go because they have all their events and everything on that page. Okay, how much, this is a question here, how much do you keep of the items you pick? Well, when I first started out, I kept a ton of stuff. But now that I've been in this game for a while, I don't keep anything. I mean, when I'm out and I'm picking, I might keep one out of 100, and it would have to be something that I collect. Personally, I collect banks. So if they have a bank and I don't have it or I really like it, then I might add it to my collection. Otherwise, no matter what, I just buy it to sell it. So we know that. I know that. A lot of people, when they first start out, they keep a ton of it. It's not what you're there for. If you're going out to pick to sell, you need to sell it. Okay, next question is, my sales are down. What do I do? I told you last week, we talked about rearranging your booth, so we're not going to go over that a whole lot, but that's one thing that you can do. You can also get sales tags and attach those to some of the items in your booth, or maybe make a little section of sale items. Here at Decades Reclaimed Vintage Depot, we're not allowed to put our booth on sale. We only are allowed to do that when the store has a store-wide sale. Like we have one, we've had a few of them in the summertime. We have about 4, maybe 6 a year. But anyways, you can't put your booth on sale, but you can put individual items on sale. And the best way to do that is to use the sales tag and maybe make a little section of sales item. It really, really works. We have a vendor here that does it all the time, and she kills it in her little sales section. When she's had a piece for a while, it gets a sale tag stapled to it, a lower price. It goes into her sales section, and people, I mean, they gravitate towards that. What you can also do is self-promote, and we talked about that a little bit last week, so you could watch last week's show if you want to know more about that. You could diversify, get out of the box and get something different. That doesn't mean like go through the shop and just see what's selling that somebody else is selling. But when you're out picking, get out of your comfort level and buy something different to see if maybe that sells. So diversify. And kind of with that in mind, you want to bring in new items, not just new diversified items, but bring in new stock. If you have old stock that's sitting around or you have back stock, bring that in, especially when your sales aren't good. Bring that in, put it in there. Take some of the items that you have, put them in a less visible place, and then put the new items in. Don't take them home. Don't bring in 2 boxes of back stock and take home 2 boxes of back stock. Overload your booth. And then the last thing is to work at your store. If you're part of the vintage market, work at the store. Go in, spend some time in there, not just a few minutes, and watch the customers, watch how they interact with your space, watch how they interact with the shop as a whole, and then learn from that. Where I'm at Decades Reclaimed Vintage Depot, working the counter, I can see my booth. Well, I noticed that people weren't entering it. I could see them staying on the outside but not going in. So I went back there and I realized that my booth was just a little bit too congested, so I had to open it up. Now that I've opened it up, I can see people actually entering the booth instead of standing and looking on the outside. I mean, when they were standing and looking on the outside, if they saw something they wanted, they kind of went in, but they're not getting the whole booth and they're not seeing everything from the outside. So now they enter more. They go in and they come out, and I like that. So, and I wouldn't have known that had I not worked at the counter. So go to your store, go to your shop, spend some time there, work, help customers, and you'll see for yourself. And you can also, I mean, if you're there and somebody's interested in a piece, you can also offer them maybe a discount. Okay. I think that's about it for our show. So we appreciate everybody watching. I'm Jim, your host of Talking Vintage. We'll see you next week. Don't forget to check out Decades Reclaimed Vintage Depot on the web and on Facebook. Have a great evening. Bye now.